Blah. No, you say something.
Blah.
Okay, just making sure we are good to go. Whenever you're ready, it's recording.
We're. Oh, okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mount Rushmore podcast.
Woohoo!
I'm Andrew. Once again, Miles is wooing. How are
Yeah,
you, Miles?
doing well, doing well. Glad we got these technical issues fixed, but we're good to go.
We spent the last 40 minutes almost trying to figure out why Miles couldn't hear me, and he's the one that records
Yeah,
everything. So it's kind of important that he can hear me.
yeah,
So we did
yeah,
it. We did it. We're here. We're on our way. And we're back. We're going to talk about another Mount Rushmore, Miles.
yeah.
What are we talking about today?
This week we are discussing the top movies of Tom Hanks.
One Tom Hanks.
Yep,
He's been in a lot of movies.
he has
Yes. So
many.
I've seen a lot of them, but then I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot more that I
Oh,
haven't seen.
oh yeah, for sure. I was looking at all the lists. I kind of googled it just kind of like see like which ones were my favorite, and like there's some that I'd never heard of, like the love story one that you had. Like,
Sleepless in Seattle.
yep.
That's not on my list, but it is an honorable mention because I was just going to be like, number 4, Sleepless in Seattle. Go listen to the old episode.
Yeah. I
But
may or may not have a connection to an old episode here, but we'll see.
ooh, okay, I may too. So let's hit the intro, and we'll talk about those when we return. Okay, and we're back, and I still love that intro song, Miles.
Oh, I know. I
It's
listen to the full trial, like the whole song in my car sometimes. Just makes me happy.
it's the only song I actually have on my phone because I just use Spotify, and
Hmm.
it whenever I start my car, that's the first thing that plays every single time, and I don't know how to get it to stop. I just want it to continue playing what I was listening to before,
Yeah,
but I'm not complaining about it.
fair enough. Fair enough.
So it's a good song.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell anyone what it is because, copyright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's called the dun 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 dun, dun song.
yeah, dun dun dun. Look it
Dun
up.
dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Okay, Miles. Now
Yep.
this is why the listeners are here though. They
Hmm.
want to know. They want to be guided and outraged by
Yeah,
our
probably.
decisions.
Probably. I'm worried because like I get criticized with these movie picks, but yep.
You will? Oh, well, I mean, hopefully it comes only from me. Uh,
well, well,
Miles, did you leave it to only movies that you've seen?
um, I've seen these movies, yes, but
Okay.
one I'm not as familiar with, so I've been kind of reading up on it. Should have watched it, that makes more sense. But
Right?
yeah, but yeah, and it's not at the top of my list. It's actually my number 4, because I don't know as much about it, but it was a good movie as far as I remember.
Okay. What is that? What is it? Let's just dive right into it.
And that was big. Really
Big.
big, yeah. I know it's about 12-year-old wishing that he was older, and then he becomes 30. I don't remember a lot of the plot for some reason, but the thing that's always been like drug like punted into my mind was the playing chopsticks on the big piano. Like I think about that, and it's just
The walking piano.
yeah, and it's just about a kid wanting to grow older, or he wants to be older, and so he gets to be the.
Kind of
He's
like
12.
kind of like 13 going on 30.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's how it was.
Except
And
it's
it's
Tom
just like,
Hanks in '88.
yeah, for overnight. Overnight.
I'll be honest. I have not seen this, but I am familiar with the big piano.
Hmm.
And I think if you don't know chopsticks,
Oh, yeah.
um, you know, that's just stop listening to this right now. Go listen to chopsticks, and then come back.
Yeah, yeah, because we want you, we want you to finish this, of course, but
Yeah.
definitely chopsticks
Don't
is.
don't don't leave and not come back, but unless you leave and tell all your friends to download.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I've always been intrigued by this of like what a 12-year-old has no clue how to do life,
hmm
and I think that's also the basically 13 going at 30. If you've seen that, it's the same thing.
yeah,
It's a teenager having no clue what to do in life, but having some idea because they have parents who go out and work every day, but then just kind of um, being an adult.
yeah.
Why? I'm assuming that you've seen this, but a long time ago. If that's why it's
Yeah, it's been a while.
fuzzy.
It was when I was younger. I remember watching it with like my family, and I just remember like seeing some of the funny part, like the part where they're playing chopsticks. Of course, that's what sticks in my brain and stuff. And I remember this was a big deal because this was actually the first featured film directed by a woman to gross over $100 million. So that was a big achievement.
Ooh.
Um,
Penny Marshall. I mean,
yeah, yeah, and it was a very like it's a very great movie. 1988 it came out. Box office 151.7 million. So it's not pocket change. I'll just say that much.
no.
But yeah, uh, t- 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 but yeah, it's definitely a movie I need to watch again. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but
This was also in dare I say prime Tom Hanks. Even though Tom Hanks has been prime
oh yeah,
for, I think everything he does is pretty good.
he can play
Um,
different characters, unlike someone else we discussed last night.
yes, yeah, but people, I mean, this was also in his dare I say comedy phase.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always done comedy, but when he was strictly comedy, I mean, my number four came out in '86. It's the Money Pit,
Oh, okay.
um, and so I mean, you have a Money Pit as a comedy, Bachelor Party, Big, The Burbs, Turner and Hooch, uh, A League of Their Own. You know, it's just like so many comedy movies, romantic comedy movies in particular that he uh, he does very good. Have you seen The Money Pit?
I don't think I have. No.
No, it's very funny.
Yeah.
That is about a man and a woman. Is they buy a house in a distress sale. Uh, Beautiful house on the outside, but then it's an older couple owns it and it's kind of fallen into disrepair.
Yeah.
Um, and so then they end up having to pay money to refurbish the house. And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, it'll take like 30 days." I forget exactly how long he says it's going to take, but it's like, "Yeah, it'll take 30 days." And they're like, "Oh, awesome!" And it'll be this much, like awesome.
Yeah.
And or it says, "Oh, 2 weeks." I just looked it up. It's 2 weeks. It'll take 2 weeks. But
Okay.
then the 4 months later, they still are not done, and it's become a thing that like they Tom Hanks' character initially was going to try and do it himself because like it's like little things like we just need to replace the bathtub and rewire there's a dumbbell waiter or a dumb waiter,
Mhm.
like take care of that. But then it turns out that it's way bigger than that. That's why he hires these people in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then like they have like they cut ahead 4 months, and then they're getting ready for their day, and then the girlfriend Shelley Long, um, she opens up the cabinet in the bathroom, and there's someone also there, like also getting ready, and it's one of the construction workers.
Yeah.
And she's like, "How long until this done?" He's like, "About 2 weeks." So
Yeah.
it just becomes a thing of them keeping like the house. Eventually, it does get done. That's the end of the movie. But then it
Yeah.
brings big stress into their relationship, and they break up, and
Yeah.
yada yada yada. But hijinks, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Ensue, and it also was a financial success. It budget of 10 million, box office of 54. What I'm surprised about though about this movie
Mm-hmm.
is the Rotten Tomatoes critics only gave it 47%.
Hmm.
I
47%.
look back on it and it's like maybe, but I disagree with it.
Yeah.
Let's see what they gave Big. What does Rotten Tomatoes have? What does it say? Reception. Oh, 97% fresh.
Yeah.
Miles, you picked a good one.
Yeah, I did. I told you, a lot of people liked it. And I'm probably gonna get hate for not remembering all about it, but I remember it was a good movie. I just can't remember it.
Well,
Mm.
Bravo put it at
Mm.
number 23 on the 100 funniest movies.
Ooh.
Number 42 on American Film Institute's 100 years, 100 laughs.
Ooh. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I see. I just don't think that people pick up on that. That like Tom Hanks is
Yeah.
one. He's been around for 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But two, he's a man. He's a man. He just he knows how to act. He knows how to act. He's funny. He can be serious,
Uh-huh.
witty. So I agree with your number 4, Miles. I agree with
I
you
think
number
you
4.
I appreciate it.
No one else may.
Yeah,
I
no
will.
one. Yeah, they'll be like, "Why it's not higher?" But we'll see.
Nice. So Miles,
Hmm.
what is your number 3? Well, I think we may agree on a couple, but I'm not sure. It's possible.
Yeah, we'll see. I think our top two might be, but my number three is Apollo 13.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this one. It's my number 3 too.
Okay, I love that movie. Like, as a kid, I always loved like space exploration and stuff like that. That's like
Hmm.
recently, like with Elon Musk stuff,
Yeah.
like the Falcon. I followed that. I was like, oh, I love that space exploration and stuff like that. And if you've not seen this movie, okay, I remember the first time I watched it was in science class in like um, like fifth grade or something like that.
I think that's when everyone watched it for the first time.
Oh yeah, and because it's based off of true stories, isn't it? Not
Yeah. Yeah, it
okay.
is. Apollo 13.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
It's namesake.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to be like. I know it's not like that one space movie that they made, like where the aliens come out. But anyway, um, well, anyway, I'm getting off. Apollo 18. That was a different movie. Anyway, um,
Very different.
yeah, completely false. And one of the things is like I've always been excited about these space exploration movies and stuff like that. Sorry, this is a little tangent. This ain't about the movie,
No,
but that
please.
one.
We're hashtag with the life, Miles. We can talk
Okay,
about whatever we want.
okay. So, like, you know that movie that came out where it was like, was it George Clooney floating around space for like an hour and a half?
No, that's he was in the movie for I think for a minute.
Yeah, and then he
But it
died.
was Sandra Bullock.
I hated that movie. That movie was
You
garbage.
hated Gravity? I loved
Oh, I
Gravity.
hated it. I sat there. I was like, I will never get this hour and a half of my life back. But but no. So back to Tom Hanks. It's a really great movie. Like I said, I watched it in science class. And if you don't know the movie, I'm sure you know one of the most famous quotes from this, and it's Houston, we have a problem. Everybody says that all the time. I hear it more back in the day than I did now because people are eating Tide Pods instead of watching great movies. But yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, that's where it's at these days. But yeah, so basically they're going on a space exploration. They're gonna do a television transmission, but the networks declined to do live broadcast. And then one of the oxygen tanks explode, and it empties all the contents into space and stuff like that. And then like one of the rockets went out prematurely, so they were kind of drifting in space for a while, and then they like it's kind of like a slingshot almost around the moon.
Yeah.
Back. It was crazy. But
Yeah, it's based on a real story
mhm.
that actually happened
Yeah.
because it's real. Probably dramatized a little bit. dramatic. I have
Dramatically
no clue.
increased.
So yeah, it's they're stuck in space,
Mhm.
and they one of my favorite scenes is when the crew on the ground come in and they're like, "Get me everything that they have in their little pod because
Mhm.
they're running out of oxygen and they're rebreathing the carbon dioxide in the air. So they have to
Yeah.
make an air filter. Like here's everything that they have, and they have to make an air filter out of it. And
Yeah.
I think that actually happened. Um, they in real life they had to make an air filter out of like random things, and so I think that for me it actually shows it's inspiring because it shows the ingenuity of our
Yeah.
scientists.
Oh, for real.
And like people like NASA today is a joke. It costs
I agree.
80 billion dollars to go to space, which is
Yeah.
insane for anything for
Yeah,
anything.
for sure.
You have Elon Musk going to space on a weekly basis. It seems like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Sending his
and
own private car into space.
yeah, and that's yeah. If you're listening to this 30 years in the future, Elon Musk launched his car into space because he could.
Yes.
Okay, because he could.
Yeah.
That's how smart he is.
Yeah.
But it shows you that NASA is a joke of itself, but they still definitely hire probably the smartest people in human history
Yeah.
um, to send things into space.
It's true.
Um, and especially in the 70s or whenever this is in the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever Apollo 13 happened, uh, 1970, that like these were literally the smartest humans
Yeah.
ever in the history of the world, dare I say.
Yeah.
That they did these things that kept these men alive for days on end while they figured out how they were going to get them back to Earth with no rocket power. So,
Mhm.
speaking of rocket power, listen to previous episodes of the Mount Rushmore podcast.
Ooh.
Hashtag always plug.
Yeah. Always plug it. Checks out on Twitter and.
So I really love this movie.
Oh yeah.
And sit down and watch it pretty much anytime.
Yeah. I agree.
The cast is besides just Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
and,
Bacon and Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Those are
It was a very all-star.
legends.
Yeah, it was a very great cast.
Ed Harris, Gary Sinise is it's great.
Yeah, what was the Rotten Tomatoes?
95%.
Okay, so
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Miles, do you want to know a little fun fact about Apollo 13?
Sure.
It is the 282nd ranked movie for box office income.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's still quite a bit, because, I mean...
that came out in 95, so, I mean, think about how many movies have came out since then.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and not to mention this also won a ton of awards. Not necessarily like Best Picture and stuff, but, like, it was nominated Best Supporting Actor, Actress in 96, Golden Globes, Best Film. It won Best Film Editing in 96 Academy Awards.
Uh-huh.
Just a lot of like background stuff that you don't think about, even though I think it was great acting as well.
And one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is like the dialogue that they had between ground control and the astronauts was verbatim. Like they tried to keep it as accurate as possible, and it's respected in that sense.
I think that's a really good thing that historical movies should aim for.
Yeah, for sure. I know that they have to add some kind of dramatic. I mean, they got to sell. They got to make money. But like, it was very dramatic. It wasn't too. I mean, I'm sure they were terrified to death. I mean, you're in space, floating around, trying to slingshot, get back to Earth. I'm sure that's terrifying, and like the ability to like have to actually make the air filters and stuff like that. I mean,
right.
Let's just say if that was me, I'd be screwed. Like, I'd be like killing people so that I had more air. But that would be my solution. No, but still, that's terrifying. And like, I can see the dramatic of that effect, and like the premature engine shutting off. That as well. That's very crazy. But yeah, they tried to be very historical.
think that's good.
historically accurate, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love history stuff, so
Oh, I do too.
the fact that they did that, it really makes my heart smile.
Well, you might want
Which
to
is
get that
always
checked out if your heart's smiling. But,
my heart has a face. Nice. Well, I'm glad that we agree on that. Let's
I
see
know.
if we agree on number two.
You want to
Number
do number
two.
2 since we agreed?
Let's say it at the same time and see. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Toy
Forrest Gump.
Story. Huh?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, I had Toy Story as a honorable mention.
Okay.
Probably number 5. So let's talk about it. Let's
What
talk
did you
about
say?
Toy Story. I said Forrest Gump.
Oh, that's my number 1.
That's your number 1. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we can talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about Toy Story. Now, we
Okay.
don't need to go into big detail about it because we did do a previous episode of favorite Pixar movies.
Check it out.
Hashtag always plug.
Yeah.
Check it
That
out,
was my
download
plug.
it, re-listen to it.
Yeah.
But the overall series, I think, is very enduring. I was going to say endearing, but enduring, I think, is more is better.
Oh, yeah.
Because now we have not just Toy Story, but Toy Story 2, 3, and coming in 2019,
Oh.
Toy Story 4.
I can't wait. We got to go
So
there together.
We'll see what comes of it, and everyone likes Pixar movies, so he's can't really complain about
We're gonna
it.
have a live podcast from the theater watching.
during the movie.
Yeah, during the movie. Yeah,
Miles, why is this your number 2 movie?
it's one of my favorite movies. From him, of course. I didn't feel like it could be number 1 because it's not him. Well, it's just his voice. But the Toy Story series is amazing. I feel like that's the voice that he could read me a book, okay? It was like my Morgan Freeman as a child, and just like hearing that.
Buzz!
Yeah. Buzz, we missed the truck. Like, yeah, Woody's just like, I love him to death. And, I just, you know what I'm saying? It's just he has a great voice, of course, but like, it was a great movie, as we previously discussed in the previous podcast, if you want to check that out. But, yeah, you know, the story, if you were born anytime soon, unless you're like under 3 years old, listening to this podcast, shout out to you. But, yeah, you know the story, just toys and they're alive, and when the people come around they stop, which, I mean, that could be true. Just think about that. What if toys are that smart?
What if toys? Yeah.
Because, I mean, how would we know?
The hidden universe of toys.
Oh, I know. There's one right behind me.
This is a very good movie. I mean, it won 3 Academy. It had 3 Academy Award nominations.
It has
For best screenplay, original score, and original song. And You've Got a Friend in Me.
Yeah.
Which Miles? Fun fact. That was the song that my wife and I danced to at our wedding.
Oh,
So
I remember you talking
this movie
about that.
also holds a special place because of that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you say you've got a friend in me, and people our age automatically associate that phrase with this movie. So
You got a friend in me.
go watch that movie and listen to that song if
For
you
sure.
haven't. It's very good, and especially the phrase "to infinity and beyond."
Yeah.
You know,
To
that's also
infinity
another. It's
and
just
beyond.
there's so much that came from this that it still exists. You know, like
Yeah.
Disneyland or California Adventure. Disney's California Adventure just put in the maybe it was when I was in college, maybe 10 years ago now. Put in the Toy Story ride where you sit in a little pod and you have a little thing that you pull and you play games and you're competing against your partner in the seat next to you.
Dang.
So it's you know, it still is here. We still think about it, and you know that show coming out with a 4th movie.
Yeah.
You know, Toy Story 3 made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So you think, put that in perspective, and Toy Story 3 came out 15 years after the first one.
That's crazy. Just
So-
thinking about that.
It's insane. Miles, Are there other reasons why you love Toy Story? Don't make me say it.
Oh, it's my childhood.
Don't
But
make me say it, Miles.
what do
I'll
you
say
mean?
it.
Say what?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm kind of confused.
Miles and I, he asked me not to say this, but just between you and me.
What are you
ladies
gonna
and
say?
gentlemen, Miles still plays with his Woody and Buzz action figures.
Whoa, 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 whoa! We're in the podcast right here. All right, this is the last one. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I didn't let him disclose that information to you. We have to end this podcast. This is the very last one. It's been a good ride, folks. Just under 200, and we'll talk to you all later.
And we're out.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't play with them every day, just most days.
They're action figures, thank you. I actually I had one of each, and
Really?
I painted over the Andy on his boot and put Miles.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool though. I mean, think about how many kids have done that, and now they saw that, and I mean, I put my name on my foot every day.
Yeah, constantly. I'm gonna get a tattoo so I don't have to worry about it.
No, but I mean, I still see kids with the toy figures from this movie, which
Every Halloween,
really
some
cool.
little kid. I dressed up my dog as Woody for Halloween last year.
It's so enduring, and I love to see it. It's a very good story. Now, hey, Miles, fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Joss Whedon.
Joss.
Joss Whedon helped write the screenplay. You may know him from the Marvel Universe. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and now he's moved on to Justice League, the DC universe, because he makes terrible life decisions.
Wow.
But I mean, yeah,
Wow.
that's like he did Firefly, Serenity, the Marvel universe.
We need to do something like that. All right, just a tangent here. Maybe this is a preview for next week. We need to do characters, DC and Marvel characters.
Best Marvel characters, best DC characters.
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
Yeah. I'm a DC fan though, so I'm a fan of both.
Okay, we're gonna end it right here. This has been the last one. Okay, we can talk about that later, but DC Universe is not as bad as people make it out to be. So
yeah,
we can talk about that maybe next week.
Maybe. Nudge.
Hashtag come back.
Yeah, come back. Don't leave us alone.
Nice. So Toy Story, I think it's a great selection for number 2. And my number 2 is Forrest Gump, and you said that it was your number 1, so we can go ahead and just dive right into that.
Sounds good.
I saw this, I think, at too young of an age because I had no clue what was going on. Like I didn't pick up that he's mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
And Wikipedia says slow-witted.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I love how they kind of wrote him into history.
Yeah.
He teaches Elvis the dance, the smiley face T-shirt when he's running across the country.
Fun fact about that.
Yeah.
He ran really close to where I used to live, and I'm okay with telling where I used to live. I used to live in a place it's called Avery County, North Carolina. Shout out if you did. He ran in Boone, North Carolina.
Really?
He was running up a hill going up to Grandfather Mount, and I used to go there all the time as a child because they have like cougars and bald eagles and stuff like that. It's like it's all kinds of things. Mountain lions, bears. There's all kinds of cool things up there. But like he ran up there's like this big spiraling hill, and he was running up that, and so it was filmed like 15 minutes away from where I used to live. So it was like, oh, that's amazing. So
nice.
I thought that was kind of cool. Most of it was filmed in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So, the photography. But like I've grew up in North Carolina, so like it was very close to home for me.
Heyo. Yeah, I mean, it's talking about the filming locations: the Biltmore State, Nashville, Boone, North Carolina,
Yeah, I've
Great
been to the
Father
Biltmore many
Mountain.
times, many times.
Nice. So I really love this. I think this is a funny movie.
Oh yeah,
It's also enduring. Stupid is, stupid does.
it's an emotional roller coaster.
It is. It is. Oh, Jenny.
At the end, and
Oh my gosh.
and another recognizable thing: life is like boxed chocolates. You never know what
Life
you're
is
gonna
life.
get.
Yeah. The Bubba Gump Shrimp Co.
Yeah,
Like, there's a generation of people who don't know that's
yeah,
you know
yeah. Like I see
that's a
those all the
thing
time.
because of this movie.
Yeah, I see those all the time, like talking about it or stuff, and people are like, oh, that's a cool name. Like, you don't get what that's off of. They got all kinds of shrimp. They got popcorn shrimp. We got shrimp on bread. Got, and it just goes on and on.
All the list of that. I think that's the type of shrimp there is.
And then Forrest talks about it. Rain. He's like, we got sideways rain. We got rain, hard rain. We got soft rain. It's just kind of funny how that happens because it happens to Vietnam. If you don't know, which
Yeah,
I know you know, but your
I
viewers.
know.
Yeah. So they're in Vietnam, and then he gets shot. And rehab, he gets to be the ping pong master. Um, it's
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They ping pong diplomacy. That was a real thing that happened of like friendly ping pong between the Chinese and the Americans.
yeah.
I mean, it's real. Look it
Oh
up.
yeah.
So I think it's just crazy how they wrote it in. I mean, he got to meet in Moon John F. Kennedy's like I got
Yeah.
shot in the buttocks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then run, Forrest, run. Everybody says
Run,
that.
Forrest. Yeah.
And then he meets
If you
President
haven't seen,
Richard Nixon later on.
so he
He's not a
exposes Watergate.
yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
There's some people looking through the building.
Uh, and then he
Oh my!
finally marries Jenny, and
Oh, he marries Jenny at the end, and then she's like, they call him the AIDS." Oh, so sad.
then
And
she
then he's
dies.
talking to the grave at the end with the little baby Bubba. Oh no,
Yeah, it's so
Forrest
sad.
Jr.
It's such a sad.
Such a sad movie,
Yeah.
but
It's so
so
good
good.
though. You
But
feel good,
so
yeah.
good. When he sees Lieutenant Dan and he jumps off the
How you
boat,
gonna
the
swim?
boat's
You ain't
still
got no
going.
legs. Don't need legs, boy.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan.
Um,
And like
Once
that's
again, in his prime, Tom Hanks.
yeah, for real. I mean,
His acting
just on my
chops.
list, we went from a basically trying to be a kid in a man's body, one of the most intelligent people ever, a toy, and someone who has mental and physical disabilities, just like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And he's the many sides of Tom Hanks. Like he can do all this and do it very well. Like none of
Doing
these
very
movies,
well.
I would watch any of these movies, any of your movies as well. Um, Tom Hanks, he's worth it. If you've not seen any of these, definitely go check it out. If it's been a while since you've seen him like me on Big, go rewatch it because
Go rewatch them.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because I'm gonna have to soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about 1994 when this came out. The premiere,
Hmm.
June 23rd, 1994.
Hmm.
Wide release, July 6th.
Wow.
Talk about how times have changed because it's gonna premiere on the 23rd of June. Yeah, you better put that on the same day because it's gonna be pirated. You
Yeah.
see it on the internet the next day.
Yeah.
Not in 1994.
Yeah.
This movie is also quite unique. In 2011, the Library of Congress selected it for preservation
Huh.
in the U.S. National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And I'm all for that being in the Library of Congress. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. Recommend checking this movie out if you haven't seen it or haven't seen
Yeah.
it in a while. Yeah, we're just gonna say that about all these movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay, so Miles,
Yep.
That was your number one and my number two.
Yep.
Let's
I'm
see if
curious
we
as to
can.
what your number one is.
Let's see if we can both say my number one at the same time.
Give
Okay.
me just a second. Give me just a second. I'm gonna have to think about this for.
Okay.
Give me just a hot second. I'm gonna look at the movies, Tom Hanks
Okay.
movies,
Okay.
just to make sure. Okay. All right. I think I know what it is.
You think you know? Okay.
Yep.
After I say one, we're gonna both speak at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Castaway.
Castaway.
Yep.
Ah!
Yeah. There we go.
Hey!
Yeah.
We did it.
See,
Yes.
that was the two that I haven't seen that I really need to see. Castaway and Saving Private Ryan. This is the two that I really wanted to see.
Okay, this one holds some nostalgia factor for me. One, it was
Wilson.
also enduring. Another enduring Tom Hanks movie. This is the first movie that I ever saw on DVD. Think about that.
That's crazy.
First movie I ever saw on DVD. Now, also nostalgia because this movie, when we saw it on DVD, my brother and I were like, oh my gosh, it's a movie on a disc. It was this is 2000 people.
Yeah.
Or 2001. Okay, so think about that. 2000, 2001. One of my friends from school came over and we had to explain what a DVD was. And he's like, no. And they were like 8th, 9th, not 9th grade. Maybe 7th, 8th grade. 7th or 8th grade, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't believe that we're actually watching this off of a disc right now. He didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So just keep that as 2000 it was released. I think I saw this in movie theaters with my parents. So if you haven't seen Castaway, it's Tom Hanks. He works for FedEx.
Yeah.
And he's on a late Christmas, a late December plane flight with packages flying overseas. He lives in Memphis, and that's actually geographically correct. Just FYI, look it up if you ever want to see how overnight shipping works. Just Google overnight shipping video, and it should be one of the newer ones that's released. Memphis is geographically important. And he gets on a plane. He's like, "I'll be right back," but he ends up, the plane goes down in a big storm, and he ends up the only survivor on an island. And he's there for 4 years. He kind of goes crazy because he ends up talking to the volleyball because he put a face on it.
With a bloody handprint.
With a bloody handprint. And then Wilson finally he's like, I have to get off of this island. Now it's kind of crazy I think he really committed to it because he bulked up prior to filming and then he slimmed down as he was on the island. He committed to doing that as well.
Yeah. That's crazy thinking about that.
Which is I very, very impressive during the filming.
Oh yeah, trust me. Yeah.
So 4 years later, when they show a before and after, like when he first lands, trying to survive.
Yeah.
And how like he also had been putting off dental work, so he found some ice skates in one of the packages, and he had to knock out one of his teeth, along with find shelter and learn how to make fire. So it's he's really smart that he calculates that the plane crash site is area twice the size of Texas. Now, I live in Texas, and Texas is gigantic. It took us 4 hours to get from the border of Arkansas to Dallas, and we still have another 500 miles to go before you hit the other side of Texas. So that's just one direction. So I won't give it away, but he survives. I won't tell you what happens, but he. If I say anything, it's going to give it away. Go watch Castaway, because I know for all of you listening, either you haven't seen it or it's been a while since you've seen it. Go watch Castaway. It's only 143 minutes of him on the island alone.
And I mean, yeah, if you don't need, all right, if you need more encouragement to watch it, it did win 2 awards. Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama went to Tom Hanks, and the
Yep.
Best Inanimate Object went to Wilson.
Wilson.
Wilson won an award.
The prestigious Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
Which that was the 6th annual, and it's still going.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
you know, it shows his acting chops.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the movies show his acting chops. That
Uh huh.
you know he can run with the movie by himself.
Yep. It's true.
And this also has some drama in it because Wilson does not make it. It's sad. He does not make it.
Yeah. Wilson.
Yeah. Poor Wilson. So I do recommend going and watching this again.
Yeah.
If you can find it on VHS, props props to you if they still make it, because this was still released when videos were a thing.
Actually, I have it on VHS.
you
No, I
have
think
it on
about it.
VHS?
Yeah,
Oh, you need to go watch this today
on VHS.
on VHS.
I don't
Yeah,
have a
do
VHS player. I don't think. Maybe I do in the attic, but I can't think of. Yeah, so people don't know what VHS is. It was the way.
So if you don't know, let Miles explain it to you.
All right, so it's like. All right, have you ever seen a tape? It's like a big tape. Like, and I'm not talking about like tape as in like masking tape or scotch tape. I'm talking about like.
Miles, you need to go back and explain what a tape is.
Okay, so a tape. All right, so it's hard to explain. It's just you kind of know what it is. It's like
Can you do it?
it's a box, right? And there's these two. There's this like film thing. It's like this thin black paper that transmits either noise if it's a cassette tape, which means sound, and then if it's a movie, it gives picture and it gives sound. Okay, and it's you stick it into a VCR player, which is what a VC no not a VCR a VHS player, and you stick it or yeah VCR right VC yeah that's right.
Okay.
You
Thanks
stick
for explaining that.
VHS in a VCR.
Now, how does explain to me the scientific aspects of
Of the
the
VCR.
video showing up on a TV screen?
So you
Okay, we have to end this.
yeah I was gonna say I was like I got 20 more minutes to go with this.
We'll just Wikipedia it, Google it.
Yeah, Google it. VHS.
Yeah, so that's Castaway. Recommend it. To me, it's his best movie. He really, this kind of it showed that he can be more than just comedy.
Yeah, dramatic for sure.
A very, very dramatic movie. You really don't know what's going to happen, and I recommend it.
Yep.
Helen Hunt's in this movie too, by the way.
Huh.
Just in case you needed another reason. If you're, what happened to her?
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's true.
Miles.
Yep.
This has been the Mount Rushmore of Tom Hanks movies.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with your list. I think that we should all go rewatch Tom Hanks movies though.
Yeah. I almost put a movie in here that I would have regretted. I'm glad I didn't.
Is it honorable mention?
The more I think about it, no.
No. Okay, then we can just not talk about it.
I was gonna say because the more I think about it, the more I hated that movie. So we're not gonna talk about it.
Nice. Well,
Yep.
Miles. Okay,
Yep.
so that's our Mount Rushmore. Tweet
Yep.
at us, Miles.
Yep.
Where can they tweet at us?
Mount MT Rush RUSH podcast PODCAST. That's our Twitter. Mount Rushmore podcast. The whole thing. MOUNTRUSHMOREPODCAST. Mount Rushmore podcast. That's on Instagram.
Instagram
That's
is
also
INSTAGRAM.
yeah, IN. My name is MYLES, and this is ANDARDREW. So
Yes, so find us on Twitter. Tweet at us with who you think should be on the Mount Rushmore of Tom Hanks movies.
Why, yes.
And follow us on Instagram.
Why, yes.
Yes.
Why,
You can also
yes.
find us on Facebook at Mount Rushmore, the Mount Rushmore Podcast. And also, please subscribe and leave a review for us. We really appreciate it. Miles, we hit, discounting last week's episode because it did not do as good as I thought, but prior to last week's episode, we hit 150 total downloads. And actually, with last
Nice.
week's episode, we hit 160 total downloads.
Yeah, we're at 161 right now. You
We
people failed
really
us. No, I was kidding.
appreciate, we really appreciate the support
Yeah, we do.
that you listeners have been giving us. It means a lot to us. I mean, we literally started from nothing 8 weeks ago, and started from the bottom, and now we're here. So we would love to see that keep growing and growing.
Yeah.
We're coming up with a couple more ideas.
Yep.
We have the other podcast that we're also continuing to work on, Doctor's Appointment,
Yep.
where we review Doctor Who episodes.
Yep.
Hopefully, going to get that to be its own feed very soon.
Yep.
Until then, you can keep on downloading it through the Mount Rushmore podcast.
Yep. For sure.
So a new episode of that is coming as well, if you don't have it already.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else, Miles?
No. I think that's it. We're good to go.
Okay.
We got our Mount Rushmore.
This has been the Mount Rushmore podcast. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep it dope.
That's what she said.
Roll the outro.